What have I observed about Gen Z as a licensed therapist? So the first thing that comes to mind is an external locus of control. And what that is when basically you have this frame of being that means that something is happening to you rather than you impacting it. And so one thing I've noticed with my Gen Z clients, and I refer to them as a monolith, but of course it's not, but this is for the sake of empathy. One thing I've noticed is if you think about how disruptive something like a global pandemic would be, it would make you feel totally powerless relative to major things happening to you that you have no individual say in the world, right? So naturally, you would detach from the result and view yourself as relatively powerless, which has this nihilistic point of view. And I think there's something to be said there as well. You combine this with a presence of the internet and just constant surveillance in their mind. This leads to like a fear of being cringe, right? So basically a fear of standing out or somebody, publicly humiliating you, maybe something like that, because the internet is faceless. So people can be very rude and denigrating. This can shatter a sense of community, which I've found is compensated by trying to create this artificial community and boxing someone in to a group. So I see this hyper pathologizing of mental illness and kind of orienting things towards that, or this big pressure to have this identity relative to a larger pack. So, it could be one's sexuality, there's not a sense of openness to figure something out or that'll come in time or later. There's this pressure to identify with something right now. A consequence of this too that I've noticed is higher media literacy, meaning this is a generation that grew up with the internet. They know what you're trying to do. They know you're trying to manipulate them. So there's this sense of kind of collective resistance to like pandering, so they know what you're doing. And I found that that's actually both empowering and disheartening, like that you're constantly being sold something. And the problem with that is their media literacy is up, but the ability to be manipulated and marketed to is even higher than that, right? Because the internet's exponential and it's polarizing. So your For You you're getting is already shit you're interested in, and that can just kind of wear you down over the course of time. So the media literacy is up, but that doesn't mean the impact is down of marketing. So I found that there's also this kind of detachment from what is asked of them because it feels like something's asked of them all the time. And again, I see kind of these takes online of trashing Gen Z or like the Gen Z stare and stuff. This is to help understand and empathize with a generation that feels totally powerless in the face of a polarizing political climate and being marketed to and politicized on social media, meaning being manipulated on social media through politics. And so I think it's helpful to have a sense of empathy rather than, oh, these kids, da 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 da.